The uproar over the future of Dallas City Hall this past week intensified. Last Sunday, we featured our exclusive interview with Mayor Eric Johnson, who said he remained confident in the cost estimates to repair and modernize the nearly 50-year-old iconic landmark. He also denied concerns by critics that the process of studying the building, designed by renowned architect I.M. Pei, lacked transparency. One day after our interview, Dallas Mavericks CEO Rick Welts made a public statement that stunned and stung some city council members and raised new questions about the process about what to do with City Hall. Welts revealed to the Greater Dallas Planning Council that city manager Kimberly Bizor Tolbert mentioned City Hall as a potential site for a new arena for the team, months before she discussed it with the city council. But one council member I spoke with is defending the city manager.
They keep me honest and they hold me accountable.
Our city manager is our chief executive officer.
Dallas Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Donnell Willis said she expects city manager Kim Tolbert to be having conversations with community and business leaders, especially the Dallas Mavericks, whose lease at the American Airlines Center expires in 2031. Here's what the Mavericks CEO said that sparked the controversy.
Over a year ago, city manager Tolbert came to us and said, look, I got to move out of City Hall. I can't afford to operate what we do in that building going forward for the taxpayers. And we said, okay, that doesn't have anything to do with us. But at some point in time, you'll tell us what's available.
Knowing that City Hall had deferred maintenance and that this would be an item coming before the city council, more than likely over the course of the next year, that I don't think it's unreasonable for her to bring that up in a conversation. And
other council members, though, including Adam Basildua, expressed outrage.
Our city manager took it upon herself to bring City Hall's real estate on the market by having that conversation. And that conversation was had prior to any council action.
The conversation between Tolbert and Welts took place in March of last year or earlier. In a statement to CBS News Texas, Tolbert said in May and June of last year, she briefed council members on the, quote, urgent need to fund repairs to city facilities, including Dallas City Hall. In August, the mayor sent council members a memo to start the process of reviewing options for City Hall. Days after the controversy, the Mavericks CEO went before reporters to clarify his prior statements.
In a very long conversation with the city manager, we were discussing a variety of potential sites for a future Mavericks arena. And in that conversation, she told me that it could cost hundreds of millions of dollars to renovate City Hall. And it could be that the city would have to consider moving out of City Hall.
I think it's a distraction.
Councilmember Chad West is chairman of the council's Committee on Finance, which is overseeing the process of studying the costs of fixing City Hall or selling the land and the potential for the private sector to develop it. In an interview with CBS News Texas, West acknowledged he too was caught off guard by the Mavericks CEO's comments.
The issue that surprised me was the city manager publicly going out and starting to talk about other uses. So whether that's an arena or something else, the general discussion happening before we had made the determination as a council on whether we are going to stay in the building and renovate it or move out.
The cost estimates to repair City Hall are $329 million, and to modernize it for use during the next 20 years is $1 billion. In our interview last week, Mayor Eric Johnson stood by the city's process.
I can tell you that the process has been the definition of transparent. I mean, it's just not true that this process hasn't been transparent. And every single thing that has happened has been compelled by council action.
It's unfortunate and how everything sort of came about with that, and I'm not happy with any of it personally. But at the end of the day, I do agree with the mayor.
Basildua told me he and some council members want another third party to come in and provide cost estimates to fix City Hall.
I am not doing this because I have nostalgia for a building. I am not opposed leaving City Hall because it is actually needed. I'm opposed because it's not needed, because we are lying to the public for what has brought us here. And if this is truly about the Dallas Mavericks, then this conversation should have been brought up about the Dallas Mavericks.
For her part, the city manager declined our request for an on-camera interview.
Any decision about its future must be.
Early last month, the city council voted 9-6, directing the city manager to collect more information about the costs of moving City Hall and selling the land and comparing them to fixing up the building. The council also wants to find out about the potential for private development at the site.
You know, this corner of downtown 50 years ago is not what it's going to be in 3 years when a $3 billion convention center that I'm looking out my window at right now will be open and become very vibrant, bringing people to Dallas from around the country and around the world. It's going to reshape the kinds of businesses that you see down here, the dining, the entertainment, the cultural experiences, and the housing.
Council members Willis and West, along with Mayor Johnson, were among the 9 who voted to obtain more information. West criticized the 6 who voted against it.
The vote by the 6 against it was, I think, a fiscally irresponsible vote.
For the Mavericks CEO, the vote was a positive step.
We have the ability now to talk to the city about the potential framework of a deal. That's something we hadn't been able to talk to the city about before.
The Mavericks say they need to make a decision about where their new arena will be by this July.